Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I am Mike Jones, Jacksonville's voice of real estate. My business partner and wife, Cindy, is here with me. And of course, Charlie is here with us. Thank you for covering up, Charlie. He's always with us.
There he is. He's the property dog.
Because he knows how to get right for the camera. I'm gonna give him a little treat. Thanks, buddy.
There you go. Let me fix your ear.
So today we are going to discuss 5 things that may be turning off home buyers if you're selling a home. So if you've had your home on the market for a while, or if you're thinking about selling a house, there's a lot of things that can be turning buyers off, but we're going to talk about 5 of the most important things that we see anyway that will discourage buyers from making an offer on your house. We're also here to answer any questions that you have here live. Thanks, Hoss, for joining. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. First off, we want to say our thoughts and prayers go out to everybody that was in the path of the hurricane that just hit Florida, Hurricane Michael. Just got word this morning that some very close friends of mine, at least 10 of them, have been severely impacted, even a couple of them with houses that are completely destroyed. So our hearts and prayers, like I said, go out to you guys. I hope to get an update from those people a little bit later. So anyways, 5 things that could be discouraging home buyers from buying your house. Don't forget, if you don't mind, somebody you know might be thinking about selling a house, or someone's selling a house and not getting the results that they thought that they would. So please feel free to share this video, whether you're watching us live or if you're watching the replay. And we'd always appreciate your likes, shares, and I think there's even like a heart button and a smiley face that you can push up into the thing. It just makes us feel good.
Yes, if you'll send some hearts and some smiley faces across the screen, we'd really appreciate it.
So 5 things that might be discouraging or turning off home buyers from buying your home. Now there's a lot of things, but we just came down with 5 because we could talk all day about all the things that could be discouraging home buyers. But here's some of the things that we see on a regular basis when we're showing homes. Number 1,
a dirty house.
And smelly.
Dirty,
kind of goes hand in hand.
House.
Yes. So a dirty house, of course, is a real turnoff. We really don't have to discuss that much. But also what's most important is a house that smells, or houses with odors. And a lot of people see what happens when you live in a house. You get used to the smells. Even if you're gone for work all day and you come home, you don't smell your house anymore. And
not like other people do.
Not saying necessarily that it stinks, but they do have definite odors. And especially if you're someone that likes to cook different foods. Different foods can make your house smell. Man, I don't know, if you're selling a house, I would probably start cooking everything on the grill, right? Unless you're cooking it in the microwave, because just about any food, especially fish, there's a lot of Asian food recipes that will smell up your house. Fish sticks with you for a while. But worse than that, things that people can sometimes get over those smells, even though it's a turnoff. But what they can't get over is pet smells, pet odors. And I got to tell you, even if you're very clean, pet odors stay in carpet. Even if you shampoo your carpets beforehand, you need to stay on top of it, because it's probably after it dries and everything, it's going to smell again. So that's one of the most important things. Now, I have shown some houses that as soon as I opened the door, the smell was so powerful that the buyers and myself, and thankfully the buyers didn't want to continue forward to see the house, but there's some really smelly houses out there. And some houses you go into, and even when you come out an hour later, that smell's still with you. It's like in the back of your throat. It's horrible.
Yeah. And you've said it before. A lot of people would clean their car way better, vacuum it, clean it with a Q-tip, all the little nooks and crannies, and shampoo the carpets, and really make that car shine before they would ever go to sell it. But people, it just seems to be that houses are different, but it's not. Houses are, you want to clean it as much or more than you would even selling a car.
So I recommend get a professional cleaning. Yes. Have somebody that you don't know come in, clean your house, top to bottom, windows, everything, ceiling fans, the dust. Clean it top to bottom. It's worth every penny. Get the smells out of there. Now, don't think that you can cover up smells going and get some air fragrance.
Oh yeah, that's the
things.
opposite end of the spectrum. Yeah.
Because really all that does is add to the smell. It doesn't really cover, it doesn't get rid of the smell. It just masks it. And then on top of the smell, now you got this really heavy duty fragrance. So that's even worse. And that's another thing that will stick in the back of your throat for hours. So don't do that. You need to find out where the smell is coming from, take care of that smell, and then you should be okay.
Just fresh and clean.
Fresh and clean,
nice
very
and
important.
Fresh and clean, no fragrancy smell. So what's number 2? We have, next on the list is a cluttered house. Too much stuff everywhere. I can't, this is one of my pet peeves. I can't stand it. Too much stuff everywhere. Knickknacks and little stuff just sitting everywhere, pictures and all kinds of things. Here's a big tip for you. When you have when you're decorating to show your house, have nothing smaller than a volleyball.
Yes. So get rid of all the knickknacks and
get rid of all the knickknacks.
Here's the thing. It's one thing if you live in your house a certain way, but when you're going to sell your house, you have to make it appeal to a buyer's taste, not yours. So everything that you're not using or that you're not going to use for the next 7 days, pack it up, put it in boxes, put it in a storage unit, store it at a friend's house, do something, just get it out of there.
You're moving anyway, so go ahead and start packing it up. So get rid of the clutter. Number three,
wallpaper. And I want to talk about this because that's one of my pet peeves.
We have a lot of pet peeves, don't we?
I got to tell you, it's been years ago now, but I was showing some very high-end properties. And high-end properties, I don't know why, those are the houses that are most likely going to have wallpaper somewhere in some room. And a lot of times it's very expensive wallpaper. Now, these people, I don't know what they were thinking, but their whole kitchen, entire kitchen was wallpaper. And it wasn't just wallpaper. This was a very distinct wallpaper. Matter of fact, it's etched in my brain.
Yeah, mine
I'll never forget it. At one time I had a picture. This was yellow wallpaper, and it had like a black and white drawing of an old farm girl with the old bonnet and everything on her head and the long dress, sitting on a little stool milking a goat. And these little things were all over the wallpaper. It was horrible. And that house, I don't know if it ever sold, but it sat on the market for a very long time. Now, I don't care what you think about your wallpaper. It's fine when you move into a house and you want wallpaper and you want to have it decorated. That's fine. But just keep in mind, that's for you and your taste. Guaranteed, any buyer, I don't care what the wallpaper looks like, how much you paid for it. I don't care if it was imported from Italy. It doesn't matter. That buyer that wants to buy your house is not going to like that wallpaper. And that's going to distract them from either making an offer, or it's going to encourage them to make a lower offer because all they see is they got to remove that wallpaper and then paint it. And they don't know if you know it, but removing wallpaper can be a very tedious chore. So wallpaper, get rid of it if you're selling your house.
A lot of people think, oh, well, I'll just give a paint credit because they're going to come in here. If I paint it, they're going to want a different color or something like that. But when it gets down to it, the thing about it is when a buyer's buying a house, the timing of getting out of wherever they're living, whether they're renting something in town or they're moving from out of town and they're moving here, the timing is critical. A lot of buyers at the closing table out in the parking lot is their moving truck full of stuff. So just think about that for a second, because if they are moving in that afternoon, okay, and then they still have to have somebody come in, remove the wallpaper and paint, the aggravation it's going to take them is going to cost you as the seller. So it's basically, it's not just, oh, well, we'll just give a paint credit, because there's more involved to that, and we'll go into that at a different time. So it's the energy and the time consumption it's going to take for that buyer who's moving in that afternoon to when am I going to get this done. So it is going to cost you more in the long run. So go ahead and take care of it right up front, and take care of it and go ahead and paint the whole house the color that is in at the time. Right now, Dorian Gray is a hot color. Yep. It's a very nice color. Dorian Gray from Sherwin-Williams. It's very nice.
Well,
So
we've talked before about how offering credits for things that don't look so great in your house, like carpet and appliances and things like that, really don't work. They really don't incentivize a buyer. What incentivizes a buyer if that stuff is already in the house? So it's worth it. Just like I don't care if it costs you $25 for a gallon of paint, it's be worth $1,000 in your ultimate selling price. So keep that in mind. So what is number 4?
Next one, number 4.
Laminate counters.
Ugh.
Laminate counters are a thing of the past, long gone. I don't even want those in my workshop. And this is one of those areas where if you can spend a little bit of money to get granite's at a minimum is what you need in your kitchen and at least your master bath. I would go ahead and do all the bathrooms the same, but granite's even on its way out. I remember one time, our first house we bought in 1999, we bought it with laminate countertops, and the in thing then was Corian counters. We got some beautiful countertops. We spent the money, got that in there. Next thing you know, those are out of date. People are putting in granite. Well, now everybody's doing granite. Now granite's actually starting to go out of style, and quartz is the in thing. But I would say at a minimum, get some granite countertops installed. It's not very much money. You'd be surprised at the actual cost is a lot less than what you think, and you're going to get your money back in the long run. Yeah. People do not like to see laminate, and they don't even like to see Corian, even though that's a solid surface countertop. So you got to get some granite countertops in there, worth every penny.
The other thing about talking about kitchen countertops is if you have the older style kitchen countertop, say by the sink, where you have the kitchen countertop and then it kind of raises up a little bit and then has a breakfast bar, that's out. That's out. Now what you want, what the thing is instead of a bar stool height breakfast bar, make that all one level. It's very simple when they go to do this, is to make that all one level instead of having a bar stool height, have a countertop height. That is what's in. So if
I'll tell you, I'll give you an example. Remember the house, we listed a house, it's been about 18 months ago, listed a house over in Mandarin. They had laminate countertops. We went in and they asked us what they needed to do to make the house more sellable. First thing we do, we told them get rid of those laminate countertops, and they had the high breakfast bar like she's talking about. Yes. We told them to have them drop that down. They did that, and I want to tell you something. 30 days, multiple offers. We sold it for cash, full price, and we sold it for $167 a square foot. And at the time, the highest sale price per square foot was about $134 a square foot. So that was the difference. Tyler, appreciate you being here. Hey. Adam, thank you.
Hi,
guys, do me a favor and hit smiley face or like or whatever, hit something on there just so I make sure this thing's working. But we appreciate you being here. So definitely anything in the kitchen's almost always going to be worth the money in ROI, return on investment.
Okay, last thing, number 5, white appliances.
Don't even say it. La, 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 la. White appliances, no.
They're horrible.
They scream old. They do. White appliances, and other thing to go along with that is coil top stoves.
Oh, even worse, a white coil top stove in the kitchen. Awful.
If you have those in your house and you're trying to sell it, I promise you, it's going to deter buyers. And if you do get a buyer that will write an offer on it, they're going to lower the price, because the first thing they're going to say is, I've got to get new appliances in here. And, appliances can be very expensive, especially if you're getting what's popular now.
What's popular, the most popular right now is called black stainless. It's beautiful. It's actually fingerprint resistant, because even the stainless appliances now that they have now, the coating on them gets so horrible that you can't clean them. They're streaky and there's fingerprints all over. So the black stainless fingerprint resistant is a beautiful new appliance that you could put in your kitchen. So
here's the progression. You've got white appliances, big no-no. From the next step up from there, in our opinion, is black, a black appliance package. From there, regular stainless appliances. And then if you want to go all out, it also kind of depends on the price range of your house and the rest of the house. Go with the new black stainless, and they're
Beautiful.
fingerprint resistant, especially if you have kids. They're great, and they're very, very, this is the kind of stuff that will make people offer list price for your house or more sometimes. The best thing that you can do is get people all in there fighting over your house and get multiple offers. That's the best way to do it.
Y'all, here's the bottom line with all of these things that are deterring buyers. Any one of these is going to make a buyer offer you less than you're probably asking, unless you have greatly discounted your price to include all of these because you're trying to sell it as it is and with all this stuff in there. Most likely you're going to get less offer than you're even already discounted the price. So the thing is you want to make sure that when a buyer walks into your house, what did we say last week? When a buyer's emotional state on your house, when they walk in, you don't want that emotional state to drop. Because if that emotional state drops, the feeling that they have inside your house, if that drops, there goes your price. If they do make an offer on it, it's going to be less than where your price is or what you're asking for. Guaranteed.
Well, you got to remember too, like I said, you live in your house one way. You got stuff all over, magazines, stuff on the refrigerator, things like that. When you're selling a house, now now it's a commodity, a product. You have to polish that product. I don't know if that's the right word to use.
Sure. I mean, yeah.
You got to prep that product in order to make it more sellable. It's just like we were talking about earlier. I have seen a lot of people, before they go to sell their own car, they'll go up there, get it washed. Sometimes they'll get it waxed. Even people will go and pay someone to detail it. Yeah. They take all their stuff out, their cassette tape, not cassette. Well, where am I? How old am I? CDs, whatever. They'll take that stuff out of there. Everything that they don't use, they'll clean out the trunk, make sure the spare tire's all there. They'll do that for a car, but I see people when they get ready to sell their house, they just leave it like it is, and that's a huge no-no. Like I said, you're marketing a product. Here's some advice I can give you. If you're thinking about selling a home and you want to know how to prepare it, go to a model home. Go to a new construction site where they're building new homes and go look at their model. There's a reason why they have a model home in every new construction site. That model home is what sells those houses for them. So, and guaranteed, everything that's in that model doesn't necessarily come with the home that you're going to buy. Those are all upgrades. And you know what? When people see that model home and then they go to the basic home, they want all that stuff was in that model home. So then they upsell them. Yep. This is a product that you're selling. You have to think of it that way if you want the most money for your house. By the way, don't forget, Tyler, thank you for being here. Appreciate it, guys. Adam, I know that you're okay. I saw some posts on Facebook yesterday. You and the baby slept through the hurricane. That's awesome. I'm glad that you guys are okay. Anyways, if you are thinking about selling your house, or you got a house on the market now that is not selling, shoot me an email, PM me something. I've got a great video. It's about 20 minutes long. I'll send you. I promise I won't hound you. I won't start mailing you stuff. I'll just send you the video. It's a lot of great information on how to prepare your home for sale. If you want to take it a step further and you're in my area, Northeast Florida, we'll come by and we'll give you a consultation. We'll walk through there and we'll tell you exactly what you need to do to make it more marketable. Marketable is a key word.
I don't care where you're selling your house in Jacksonville. There is so much new construction going on right now. And I don't know if you know this. There are 4,000 new construction permits going on right this moment in St. Johns County. So if you're selling anywhere in Jacksonville, your competition is also St. Johns County, because people can go there and pick out first of all, they can pick out what neighborhood do I want to be in. I want to pick my lot, pick my floor plan, pick my colors, pick my everything, and get a warranty that's like for 10 years long. You are competing against new construction homes. So if you're wanting to get top dollar for your home, you really got to be at that level. With these 5 tips, you know this is going to help you get a lot closer. You want to be right there with it. You want to be right there with those new construction homes, because you don't want them. A lot of people say, well, if they want new construction, they can go buy it. Oh, they do.
They will.
And they will. And there goes your buyer. You don't want to do that. That's your buyer. So you want to keep them in your home, loving your home, and you want them paying the price that you're asking. These are tips that are going to help you get that price.
Okay, so that was our 5 tips. We had a question that came in during the week. We have a lot of them, and feel free to always, you can put in the comments your questions. We always look back, and we get notifications of the comments. So if you have a question about real estate, let me know. I don't care if it's in Jacksonville or if it's in Montana. I said Montana because Haas is watching. I don't care where it's at. I'll do my best to answer it right there. Or we may even put it on our Facebook Live here. I did get a question about someone who wants to assume someone else's mortgage, but there's negative equity. In other words, the seller owes more on the house than it's worth. And they wanted to know, if they assume the mortgage, do they assume that negative equity? Yes, you do. When you assume the mortgage, you assume the mortgage. But guaranteed, if the seller was in a flip position where he had a lot of equity and you were going to assume the mortgage, what would that seller do? He would ask you to give him money to compensate for the equity that you're gaining. So if you're assuming a mortgage that is in a negative equity situation, go ahead and ask that seller if he'll pay you the negative equity. Why not? After all, he's getting out of a bad situation, and it's cheaper for him to go ahead and let you assume the mortgage, pay you that negative balance, and then it works out for everybody. It would, like I said, if the shoe was on the other foot, they would do it. Why would you assume someone else's mortgage? Here's the only reason why. Just say mortgage rates right now they're around 4.65. If you came across a home seller who had bought his house, just say when the interest rates were at their lowest, I think was right around 3.2%. Mm-hmm. They got a 3.2% mortgage interest rate for 30 years fixed. You might want to assume their mortgage because, of course, your payment's going to be lower and things like that. And also, if you assume a mortgage, you're going to have less in closing costs and less in down payment. So those things work in your favor. But never assume someone else's negative equity. Have that seller pay you the difference, or at least pay that down with the mortgage. You're not assuming that as well. If you're watching this live, I appreciate all the people that are here today supporting us. Thank you for the thumbs up and the smiley faces. Great. If you're watching the replay, do that as well and share the video. And like I said, put your questions in the comments and we will answer them. Next week, same day, same time, we're going to have 5 ways that a home buyer can make their offer more appealing when they put it in. This is going to really help you, especially if you're wanting to buy a property that's got competing offers on it. Very good. You want to be here. Don't miss it. And if you need to buy a house anywhere in Northeast Florida, stay off Zillow. You're going to find homes there. It drives me crazy. We have buyers that go, hey, I saw this house on Zillow. Can you give me any information about it? Oh, that sold 2 years ago, or that's not available anymore, or they rented that out, or whatever. If you want the most accurate, up-to-date listings and information, go to our website. It's actually a direct feed from our MLS. It's MikeandCindyJones.com. Spell out and, MikeandCindyJones.com. If you have a house that you want to sell, now's a great time to do it. We just put one on the market. We were going to talk about it today, but just put it under contract today. 8 days on the market, full price offer. Going to close that in 30 days or so. So if you have a house to sell, let us know. We'd be glad to sit down with you, show you what we can do, show you our marketing plan, and show you some of the results that we get. Do you have anything else?
I think that's about it.
All right. Until next week, we appreciate it. Thanks again, everybody, for being here, and we'll see you on the flip side.
Bye.